The one thing you brought up, which is comes up probably every time in my parent eds, which is this idea that tech means progress. When people say, well, don't I need to give it so that they can understand how to use it, later in life? This is the way the world operates, is the argument. And I have a couple of things I say to that. And one of them is modern screen technology is so easy to operate now, even a baby can do it. So your kid will be able to pick it up quickly. Like that is not a worry. I'm Gen X. Like I'm old enough to have grown up without it, but young enough to have adapted very quickly. And when I started working professionally, tech didn't really work. It would shut down, software would conflict. Like it really was something that you had to learn to troubleshoot, something that was frustrating, right? There was a lot of friction in it. Now, it's so easy not only to use, but it just like kind of works. So I would argue that it is something that can absolutely be picked up very quickly at any time in a kid's life. And then the other thing you brought up that I think is super important is the people that design this stuff don't give it to their own kids. I mean, you and I both come from the tech industry. And so we're very comfortable with the notion of not giving it to our kids because we know too much. We've been under the hood, right? So those are a couple points that I always point out to people that ask that question because you're right. Like it absolutely isn't something that is necessary to thrive. And in fact, many argue that it's actually sometimes hinders the skills that we need for leadership, for entrepreneurial leadership, things like that.
I remember touring our local zoo and we were doing a volunteer program with she was then 5-year-old daughter. And I remember just hearing that the chimpanzees were using iPads. And that
Oh
blew the
my
whole
God.
argument out of the water for me when people would say, well, I
Yeah.
need them to know how to learn it for later and learn how to
Yeah.
navigate a relationship with it.